Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB bikini pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Okay, we have a special episode today. It is going to be a throwback with your new Miss Bikini Olympia champion, Lauralie Chapados. She was first featured on the podcast in August, so August 3rd of 2019. So that was years ago. And I thought we could do a throwback episode so you could listen to where her mindset was at back then and see where she's at now. Many of you have been following her journey and her experiences, and I think it would be awesome to commemorate an old episode that we did in celebration of her win. So I'll read to you what we had written for the description of that episode so you know what to expect, and then enjoy diving in. So we spoke at the time with the number 2 bikini athlete in the world. She was 23 years old when we spoke, and she was known as the Dark Horse. And she came out of nowhere. She crushed her 2018 season, landing her a spot at the Olympia where she earned second place. And then when we had recorded that episode, she was actually prepping for the Arnold Classic. And then she went to the Arnold Australia. And in this episode, you'll hear Lauralie open up about her struggles as an amateur with finances, work, pressures of coaching herself. She shares openly about her journey to the pro level, the adversity she faced to win it in Canada. And she tells us about how she got into competing at such a young age, what she thinks about heading into every competition, and what her game plan is for this season. So that was back in 2018. Remember that. She discusses the impact of personal life changes, quitting her job, pursuing her dream as an elite athlete. And she tells us what her feedback has been. So that was at the time. So maybe you could compare it to now, and what she's currently working on to bring something the judges have never seen her bring before. Of course, this is what the judges awarded just yesterday. At the time we're recording this anyways, you'll hear this on Friday, but I'm recording this on Sunday. So Lauralie even brought up some of the opportunities and dreams of her life that have come to fruition since focusing and taking this leap of faith in her fitness career. She said that she had no regrets. She loves every day of her life, and she's been finding more ways to be more of an ambassador for the sport. Of course, a lot has changed. That was 5 years ago now, and she's definitely come a long way. So in that episode, she taught us some of her posing tricks, her approach to building muscle, and the mental challenges and rituals she has before shows. I really hope that you guys enjoy taking a trip back in time to August 3rd, 2019 with your new Miss Bikini Olympia champion, Lauralie Chapados. Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be introducing our next podcast guest. She is known as the Dark Horse because she came out of nowhere and crushed her 2018 season, landing her a spot at the Olympia where she earned second place, making her the number 2 bikini athlete in the world. She's now prepping for the Arnold. Welcome to the show, Lauralie Chapados. How are you doing?
Thank you, girl. I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're doing so well. And before I start every podcast with all the good juicy stuff, I got to ask, what is a ritual you have or something that you do or think about right before your heel hits the stage?
I have this thing where my brain just go off to refocus, on the stage and just visualize. I get this squat. So I will be just in front when I see the judges, just before I see the judges, I will hit just a squat in my heels and it gets my blood flow in my legs. And that's my ritual before the stage. And, right before I hit the stage, I put the biggest smile on my face. And I'm just show goes on,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And doing the squat right before you see the judges. I love that. It's actually pretty smart.
Try it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do that. I feel like that would make me more sassy, and it would be obviously get the jitters out of my legs. Like I mentioned in the intro, you came out of nowhere, and that's why you're now called the Dark Horse. And I had to look that up before because I kept seeing it and I wrote it down like months ago. And I was like, why do they call her that? And when I looked up the definition, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So, what do you think caught the attention of the judges at the Olympia and also through your whole entire season that led them to placing you in the top two?
Um, well, I guess going from competition. So, I started my season with Toronto Pro Show. That was my second year as a pro. So the
Awesome.
year before that, my pro debut, I did Toronto. I finished second behind Michelle Sylvia. Then
Mhm.
I did Miami Pro. I finished fifth. Like that was my first competition in the US. But then I stopped. So, I didn't go out a lot more. I didn't compete that year. So I took like this off season and going back to Toronto Pro. Um, new suit, new package, new hair, new everything. I think it's really my attention to details at one point. My posing, I've changed my routine, practiced my routine a lot more. Um, and your pro debut is very just like getting your feet wet. So the second year I took time to check what my hair would look best, my makeup, my tanning, my suit, the color of my suit, everything. So I think that must be one part of it. And judges see the work you put in, whether is your shape that you show the day of the show, and you know, uh, in bikini it's a whole package. So it's your skin tone, your jewelry, hair, makeup, and that's usually the feedback I get is that my posing is very good and um, my hair is good and my makeup.
Mhm.
But they do check all that. Some people just think they don't, but they do. So
Yeah, especially when you all look so amazing. It's like they have
right,
to nitpick at that point.
yeah. At this point, like girls are all to their hundreds, so you really have to leave no stones unturned and no details left, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what type of feedback did you get after the Olympia? Because you obviously came in really close to number one. So I'm curious what it is that they told you in order to continue improving and possibly even take that spot next year.
So the feedback I got from Cindy, which is the head judge from the O, like right after the O, I
Hmm.
asked her, and it was just to keep our proportion as they are right now, so not adding any more muscle, and that's it. I from
Wow.
another, yeah, from another judges I get like that I have to smile more, but I was nervous. It was my first Olympia, so I guess yeah, I can smile more and stuff, but yeah, don't add in more muscle and just keep my proportion the same as they are right now.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah, that's great
yeah,
feedback.
yeah, and that's what I get. The feedback I got from the Philippines that was, that I came a little bit flat, and Sandy was judging there too, and she told me just to bring the package I brought from the O, and that I will be all right for the Arnold. So I'm pretty excited because we're bringing something better.
Yeah, that's going
Yeah.
to be so awesome. And um, there's a lot I want to ask you about heading into the Arnold, but I want to know first of all, like in your pro debut, you said you did two shows and then you took time off to just improve and get better. What were some of those physical changes that had to happen?
So the first main reason, to be honest with you, that that I quit, that I just ended up my season there, because I was broke. Like,
Uh-huh.
I used to work like part time. I was studying still back in the days, and I just had no more money just to travel and to compete. So not to put any more pressure on myself, I thought, that was a good pro debut. I did two competition. That's usually more that I never did. Um, and it was more of a mental work, mindset work to get that self-esteem going and
Mm.
to build this kind of like, I deserve to be here kind of drive that I always, I'm a big doubt. I doubt myself a lot. In this sport, you're very critique about yourself, and people think I'm overly confident, but it's just, it's an image because like deep down, I'm always the girl. Like even after winning pro shows, I was like, okay, I might go to the Olympia, or even like in Tampa, my last competition, I was like, I'm gonna finish like top 10. You know, I
Mm.
always doubt myself so much. So I think it's very mental work that I did there. Of course, like I keep on training, adding some muscle to my glutes and shoulder, keep my shape balance and stuff. But most of the work was working on my confidence. So
Yeah. What was some of the things that you did mentally to help you improve your confidence?
so I did some posing helped me a lot because you get like in this kind of zone where you're like another person. It's kind of a role you
Mhm.
play, and that really helped me. Other than that, I did some you know meditation kind of work, and just being surrounded with people that wants you to grow. um yeah, and I've met some amazing people along the way, fitness and non-fitness people, and it helped me, you know.
Mhm. That's really awesome. And um wow, that makes me think of like so many things I've just been like seeing on your stories and then the things I want to just talk to you about. So I'm really glad that you're here and that we can go into it. But you mentioned that you stopped and quit your last season to take some pressure off yourself because you were broke and you were working a job and you were still studying. So are you no longer studying? Do you like earn better money now through the sport? Like how have those things improved or changed so that now you can of course prep and do a lot more shows?
So I would say this year, 2019, um well, I had a really big personal life change. So I was like, at this point, let's just do it all. So I quit my job at the restaurant. I was working at the restaurant almost full time when I was prepping to the Olympia, into the Olympia.
Wow.
Yeah, but to be an elite athlete, I know that was coming, and at this point, yeah, I guess I can push. I want to push my brand, my platform. Now that I have this
Mhm.
platform, this visibility, I want to use it just to inspire people, share my experience to just younger girls that go through the same as me. And I remember, like, I wasn't is not too long ago, I was an amateur too, and I was starting, and I was looking for help and looking for information out there, and there wasn't a lot of, podcast didn't exist really much, and
Yeah.
YouTube was just getting kind of started. Instagram was so now that I can share and have this time, free, but to use it to be a better athlete, but also like a better um, ambassador for the sport. Um,
Yeah.
I'm using it fully and honestly enjoying it to the to I'm enjoying it, and it really shows on my physical body. And yeah, being with Adam, um, it's a lot of changes at the same time, but it's just like this 180 switch that I needed in my life to be better. And I've honestly never been in a better place in my life. So I'm very grateful for this upcoming year is going to be just so different in so many ways. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And you mentioned Adam's name. And for those of you listening, that's the head coach at
Yeah.
Team Elite Physique. And
Yeah.
you just started working with him. So, heading into this 2019 season, recently having joined Team Elite Physique, what inspired you to do that? And how has it been so far? Like, how has it been different from previous preps?
So I was mostly coaching myself um, for the last, well, since I turned pro, I mostly coach myself half and half with my ex-boyfriend, now
Mhm.
ex-boyfriend. And I was in the plane in the Philippines, and I was looking to, what to improve. Like, am I gonna do better in 2019? And I was literally in the plane in the Philippines, and I texted Adam. I actually slid in his DM, and I told him, you know, uh, do you want to work with me? So it started from there, and I in the plane we just talk, and I think like 10 minutes after he sent me like these videos talking about like all the improvement. He wants to see me, um, and I was like, okay, I'm hooked. Like let's start this. So I was expecting like a 2 weeks break for Christmas, and he was like, no, we're not taking any break. We're starting now. So I really like his mentality. It's really health related. He's super smart. I'm very grateful to have him in my corner, and he is just it really keeps me like this consistency. Not this consistency, like you can train and have your nutrition, but it's just having this no brainer where I send check-in and he sees something, and then he send me my diet back, so I don't have to put that stress on myself, or like I wake up every morning and I'm just like unsure of where I was kind of going. And I think like the Philippines, that's what happened. And I finished second. It's really not that bad, but of course, like my body was tired, but I was just like mentally tired too, just to like have this pressure on myself and only myself, and no one to kind of have any guidance or nothing. And at one point, you have prep brain, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets harder. And as I told earlier, always kind of doubted myself. So like, do I get fuller? What do I eat? And at one point I was like just lost. So he really came into Adam. He came into my life at a very good moment. And yeah, what about the changes? So um, we obviously want to bring my conditioning up a
Mm-hmm.
notch. Um, Not because like the judges asked me to bring my conditioning up, but just because personal look and personal balance is just going to be a lot better. My weight's going to be smaller, and it's very different with Adam. I mean, he can change my diet 2 or 3 times not a week, but like 2 or 3 times like every 2 weeks. He changed my cardio depending on how I look. We talk every day, every single day.
Wow.
And yeah, he's been really amazing. He's very supportive, but I will always get the truth out of him. So
That's
if I look
good.
bad one day, I will know. Like if I look good, I will know too. So it's always very clear. There's like no gray zone. And um, yeah, he's my friend, but he's my coach too. Like he gets
Mm-hmm.
very serious, and we're both very serious about the goals we want to, um, and the shape I want to bring there. And we have a vision, we have a plan too, and the plan's working, and we're very happy. And I'm healthy. I have I got my hormone check, and it just get better and better. And at this point, this is my life, it's my lifestyle. It's I have to be healthy all year round, prepping or no prepping. I don't want to put my health in, I'm young too. I'm 22 years old. I want to do this for like, I'm expecting to do this for like the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So um, we're being very smart about everything, you know, food
Yeah.
wise, training wise. But intensity is definitely um, up, and diet is, you know, first time having no carbs in my diet, but I'm loving it. It's just challenging, and that's what the sport is all about, just being better than you were.
Yeah, and doing those things that are gonna challenge you and make you better. And obviously, you said that he's supporting the vision, the goals. So, well, before I even assume, what are your goals heading into this season? And then I'll go with the questions that I have from there.
Okay, so goals for this season. So my plans for this season, competition wise, are Arnold Classic. Then 2 weeks after that, we're going to Arnold Australia, and then I'm taking some time off to be my 100% to the Olympia, to hopefully be your next Miss Bikini Olympia. That's my goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
you are obviously going in the right direction. And what is your
Thank
plan
you.
to? You're welcome. Of course, it's really
I
fun
appreciate
watching.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're so welcome. Like I've been watching like all your stories and your posts, and it's just really cool to see how consistent you are, how much you're training. Like it's obvious that you are an ambassador of the sport. You are in this 100%. I feel like there was definitely a shift from like the Olympia to now. Like it just seems like you're on like a whole nother level, which is really cool to actually like see from the outside as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you're so
And
welcome.
like I was people didn't know me because I was always putting this pressure on myself that Instagram has to be always perfect. But you know what? At one point, I was like, screw it. People are gonna, they're gonna see me good day, bad day. I don't mind. I'm gonna put a pineapple bun on my head, and they're gonna see me jogging. It's not always glamorous. Like sometimes I go to the gym and I have no makeup on. It's just like it's business. Like I go there, I do my intense training, and I'm just glad that people actually like seeing me cooking mushrooms and just like
Yeah, oh my gosh.
being like very supportive of the person that I am, because I'm very transparent with you guys. I want you to see everything of me, and of what it really is. And I'm not better than anyone. I'm just a girl that follow her dream and do everything for it every day. So yeah, I am happy that you say that. It's a
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And it's crazy because we're the same age. And so that really like inspires me even more because I'm like, if she can do that, like I could do it too. Like I could do anything. And I think we all have many different accomplishments at different times of our life, but you're this example of someone who has committed to her dreams and has committed to her goals. And you took leaps of faith as well, like quitting your job and trusting in this plan and this process for yourself that you have. And I think more people need to be doing that. And you're obviously an example that it's possible to make things work when you do. So, okay, actually, now I want to know, like, are you done studying in school? Are you like, what is your situation like?
So right now, yes, I am. So I have a degree in business management.
Nice.
Yeah, that I did. So I have this background, and I started a major in engineering, logistical
Wow.
engineering. Yeah, so I started that, but yeah, you said wow, but after a year I quit just to focus on competing, because um when I do something, I do it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And competing, I don't want to say there's no balance into competing because like, you know, I still go out, I still have friends, you know, and but it takes a lot. And to be at the point where I am today and just being second in the world, you know, Adam helped me a lot with that. It's just you have to get this in your head and act like a second, like
Mm.
the second bikini girl in the world. And someone told me a wise, I don't remember who told that, but you have to walk, you have to train, you have to speak, you have to you know, put yourself into Miss Bikini Olympia before being Miss Bikini Olympia. And just,
Exactly.
yeah. So my parents weren't very happy, and but you know, I dropped school for now. School's always gonna be there. For
Mhm.
now, you know, I love this stage. I love being on stage. That's my reason. That's the reason I wake up every day and I sleep at night satisfied and accomplished, and it makes me happy. So as long as it makes me happy, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so that's my situation right now. And now working on a website for to start you know, learn some posing, and I really want to get out there and be the best ambassador I can be for the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so exciting that you're doing posing coaching now too, and just really trusting in yourself. Like I think it's natural for parents to get worried about us. Like I quit my job 6 months ago when I launched the podcast actually. Um, and I remember
Wow,
they were like,
congrats.
thank you. Yeah, and there was apprehension about it when I didn't tell them, and then I did it, and then I told them 2 weeks later. So that was an issue, but it's paid off. I've been able to invest so much more time into my business, into my dreams, my
Right.
goals, my schoolwork. There's certain things you have to do in your life for the things that you want more, because other people will want certain things for you, but
Yeah.
if you can't go to bed happy, like you said, and you can't wake up excited for the day, then you're not living.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
think
you're so right.
you know how I feel. Like you're
Of
living
course.
it. So
Yeah.
okay, so you are someone who has jumped into competing at a young age. Many women are really only getting their feet wet in competing, even right now, at your age or 10 years past you. So what inspired you to start so young, and yeah, and where do you, I mean, you want to compete for another 10 years. So how does this look for you? Like basically what inspired you to start, and then we can go into the rest.
So to be honest with you, what inspired me to start, um, I had this, I call her my mentor because like she learned me a lot about this sport, and she, I was in the gym and she just told me, "Oh my God, you have a good structure. You should do some competition." And I was like, "Okay, what's that?" And I was already training at the gym and going like pretty intense. Like I started going to the gym and going, you know, twice a day. I was there in the morning doing abs and cardio and then going back for my weight training at night. And I started that way. Like the
Wow.
first week I was there, started, and I didn't miss a day. And yeah, when she came to me and talked to me about competition, I was like, I think I just trust her. And I was like, yeah, let's do
Mm.
it. And 6 months after, I was on a stage doing my first competition, and I never stopped. So
Wow.
yeah, and the first when I went off stage that day, I was like, I can go home because I feel so accomplished. I didn't even want to go to finals. I was like, okay, this is it. Like this is my thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You just knew right away.
Yeah, it's I think it's a feeling you have, like this adrenaline rush, and it's just like it it gets to you, like it was really like a revelation to me. Can you say that?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You said it perfect.
Okay, yeah, it really was. And yeah, I want to do this for the next 10 years because um what can stop me? Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm
Why not?
I'm just very happy doing this. Like every prep is different. I go to every show. I take every single show by its own. So for me, it's one show at a time, taking nothing for granted. And it's like my first time every time. So even if I know I have the Olympia coming, or if even if I know I have the Arnold Australia coming, right now it's the Arnold, and
Mm.
I'm nobody. I'm just an athlete that is invited to the Arnolds. That's it. And I train as an athlete that is going to the Arnolds. And that puts me in a mindset where I just have to put the work every single day. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm Lauralie Chapados or like the dark horse or like the second best bikini girl in the world or like the whatever bikini champion. I'm just a competitor that have the blessing to be invited to the Arnold, and yeah, that
Yeah, very
that's my
humble.
mindset for every show.
That's
Every show.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It's like no matter how far you come, like you still have one thing in front of you. And that's the outcome you're focusing on. Regardless of what's happened in the past, good or bad, this is what matters. So that's powerful. That's a powerful mindset that you have.
Well, I think to you really have to be you have to be humble in the sport, because the second you take it for granted, anything in your life, if you take it for granted, you won't put your 100% in it. You might do like 99, but still 99 is not enough. You have to put your
Mhm.
100, 110. Before I would get doubtful because maybe of that mindset, because I was like, okay, that's kind of my first show always. But now I have this strong mindset of what I can accomplish and how I'm supposed to look and to present myself. I have this experience. I think it's like this experience that I gain put
Mhm.
me in the zone where I'm confident of what I can bring, but still like taking nothing for granted and just going to every show like it's my first show. And it's my first show, first time I'm going to be in front of the judges, first time I'm going to do my hair. It's just like I want to keep every show like it's my first one, and that way it gets so exciting every time.
Totally. I can actually see that. I might have to try that now because that's a really like I said, powerful. I don't know if there's another word to describe it because you are reigniting that almost like a new flame every time. Like, okay, we've got the very first show. And I remember like back in my first show, it was like you said earlier, no stone unturned. And I mean, that's how I've approached every show as well, but I haven't approached it like this is my first. And I think that is going to be a game changer. And I'm sure that a lot of girls listening who are in their seasons right now are going to take a lot from that. So I appreciate you sharing that part of your mindset. And now going into the Arnold, because this is your main focus, what are you doing to prepare for it?
um Everything. I mean, um it's I'm following the plan that Adam sent me. um we have a goal for sure. Like right now I have to still drop 5 pounds. I think he's crazy sometimes, but putting in the work, getting myself on track, and yeah, I mean, how do I prepare for the Arnold? um yeah, they send you um airplane ticket. You have to feel, it's very well organized. I mean, I'm going there with three different suits. All the time that I couldn't spend uh doing prep stuff, now I do. So like stretching, massage, I get more massage now. now. I get to relax more too. It's more it's less like go go go. I take time to really fully enjoy this prep, and now I cook there. There's a lot less of me driving in my car, eating my chicken cold with my nuts in my mouth, and just like without spices. So like
Yep.
I take time to cook my meals, and sometimes enjoy, like, even in my take a family dinner, bring my stuff and just cook with them. Um, just really, it's a really different prep, much harder than I ever prepped before, but so much enjoyable, so much more
Mm.
enjoyable.
It's amazing
I'm
what
really
letting go
exciting,
does.
really, really having fun, and the Arnold is um, it's a pretty big show.
Mm.
I've never been in my life, like, not competing, but not in person either. But people are really, telling me about it, how amazing it is, and how big it is, and I'm getting like super excited. Yeah.
That's so exciting. Yeah, I mean, it's
And
a big deal.
yeah, it is. And for the next month, my February and March is gonna be crazy. So I'm gonna be in New York next week. After this, I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm traveling a
Wow.
lot these days. Yeah, Pittsburgh. And then it's my birthday. Then I leave home on February 18th, going to Maryland for a shooting. After that, I will be in Denver, Colorado with Adam.
Hmm.
Before, yeah, that. So I booked him before the show because I was like, I want you to be with me. And we're gonna fly from Denver straight to Ohio. I will be there on Wednesday or Tuesday, and uh, yeah, I'm going there like earlier just to get acclimate with the environment and the food, and just the gym there. And I like to it's big shows like that. I kind of get stressed where everything is so big and it's crowded, and I have to get in my zone a little bit, and I'm in my kind of bubble. But um after that, you have the meet and greet, and I'm going home only back in like March 30th, so I will be home almost like a month um and a half. Not
Wow.
Yeah, but it's super, like, like, I can't believe that's my life right now. It's just so
Yeah,
much fun. Yeah.
that's like your dream.
It really is. Well,
Mm.
I honestly couldn't ever dream of having like so many opportunities, but crazy opportunities that comes to me. And since I've been doing that switch in my personal life, only great things have been happening to me. Like, it's kind of like life is thanking me for
Mm.
making that switch. Yeah, it's it. It's been very good. I've been very grateful and thankful.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to say it. I remember there was like this one quote by Louise Hay, and she was like, she always says, "Life loves me." And I think that that's such a great positive way to look at life, because when you do take those steps for yourself, like I personally believe, the universe, some people, God, source, nothing, for some people it was like rewards you,
Yeah.
and you get to experience the what happens from it. And I'm sorry if you guys listening can hear the rain in the background. I'm in California and it's dumping buckets. Like literally I can hear it coming back through
Really?
my microphone. Yeah, so if it's showing up and you guys are wondering what that is, it's the rain. um, but yeah, it's cool what happens when you take that leap. A lot of opportunities start showing up because you now have space for them. Before, it's like if you're working all day, you're running from place to place, you don't even get to see it, let alone have them presented to you. So what types of opportunities have been coming that maybe you wouldn't have been able to have had you not taken that leap of faith and trusted yourself?
Um, like my amazing sponsor. I signed with GAT supplement company, which is an awesome company, and um, that has been awesome. All the shooting opportunities, and now working on my website, and just um, having Adam in my life, and all all of these people that just I make some new, not new, I meet new people, and they just share things about their life, and you're like, oh my god, that's how I want to be, that's how I want to live, and you stick with them and you just grow from there. And
Mm.
um I know sometimes in prep it can get pretty robotic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
robotic. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you have to just sit down and a knock on your shoulder and say like, okay, I'm proud of myself, like, um that you should be proud of yourself and how you've become. So um yeah, opportunities of like sponsorship, visibility, just people, honestly, like people support is the biggest thing for me. So
Mm.
now that I spend like more time on Instagram just sharing, I get this amazing return from you know all kinds of people, like bikini competitors, or just like um people that wants to be better in life or in their fitness journey, that comes back to me and just say like, hey, you really inspire me, or you help me for XYZ. And it really feels amazing because you're like, okay, my little person, my little self is helping you, like, really. Well, that's my inspiration every day, just to keep going and be the best version of myself. And I'm living my best life. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That is really, really awesome. And what would you say to someone who is like hesitating to change the things in their life that are keeping them from living their best life?
I think people who have this desire of living their best life, and they visualize something, right? Because you have
Mhm.
people that just they are okay with their situation of working 8 to 5, and they're happy with that. My mom is,
Right.
and maybe maybe she's really happy in that way. But if you think about starting a company or do something crazy, or you have a passion in like skateboarding or whatever it is, and you're like visualizing a goal and a dream of yours, things the thing that the thing that blocks you from doing it, it's actually fears. But not usually fear on your own, but fear that other people puts on you. So like social pressure. Are you going to be able to pay your rent? Are you going to have enough money? Your parents, what are you going to do in life? Is it what you're really going to do, like, in life? Do you imagine doing this like for the next 20 years, blah blah blah? Is the fear of the naysayers shut them down.
Mm.
And then after, I'm telling you, the light is going to be like right there in the tunnel, and it's just going to run through it. And that's really what I have to say to people. But believe in your vision. If you keep thinking about it every single day, that's your reason. And there will they you won't yeah, like, until you do it, you won't be satisfied in your life. You
Mm.
will always have this back thought in your mind that is telling you like, why are you still here? You should be there. But like,
Wow.
just shut down the voices of the people that put their fears on you, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Wow, that's really, really great advice. And the the people around us, it's amazing how their own conditioning and beliefs can so easily
Mm-hmm.
be projected onto us, whether that's directly saying it or if it's through their actions, like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can't get this for myself today, or oh no, I'm not able to go here. The words, the reasoning, the excuses, it's very telling of what someone's beliefs are. And many people are living in scarcity, whether that's scarcity of money, scarcity of dream chasing, scarcity of
Being
having the life.
judged.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
being judged, exactly. Living life on other people's terms versus their own. And yet there are so many, like, I don't think we were just put here to live this mediocre life that doesn't make us happy. And you really vocalized it well when you said that if you're thinking about it every single day and you don't choose to commit to it, you won't be satisfied in your life. And I loved when you said you'll keep asking yourself, why am I still here? I've totally been in that situation. And she is so right. Like, you are very, very right about that. It's a painful feeling to continue to ask yourself, especially when you're so
Right.
close and you're
Mm-hmm.
just like scared to do it. It's like, it's
You're
painful.
right. When you stand like right at the cliff,
Yeah.
but you like you can like you're just about to jump, but like something is just like this one thing, but then you jump and you feel so free.
Yeah.
It's like having your wings back.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna cry. It's so relatable.
Yes, it is. Like I talk today, like I talk to you with like a lot of ease, but it's been a process. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you know about it. It's been a process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of challenges that can come up along the way. There is
Yeah.
the grind, like you mentioned, eating chicken in your car, this freezing cold chicken, probably not having everything that you need, having to drive home, back and home, forth because you keep forgetting things. Your life's so busy, things are crazy. You gotta work your schedule around. It's There's a lot that goes into it. There's people, there's events, there's situations, and it it can be rough, but when you break out of it, that's when you start feeling more free. And even if when you do break out of it there's still struggles, it's just a transition. It's just part of the transition. Have you ever felt like when you made that decision, did you feel anything within you come up, like any self-doubt or limiting beliefs, like I shouldn't have done this, or was it just like, yeah, I'm right where I need to be?
Honestly, never.
That's awesome.
Not a single day
That's
since
really
I've
cool.
made the move. I I regret anything. Honestly, nothing.
That's
And it
perfect.
really gets to me because I just realized that I have no regrets on how my every single day is going. I've been honestly like I can say that like I'm proud of myself because I've come from a long way, and you have to be proud of yourself. But I'm telling you, like, when you even you as you said, like, we're gonna live struggle, we're gonna, like, um things gonna come up our way, but we figure out like how to manage it in a much better way because we're
Mm.
in this happy place, and
Yes.
we are where we choose to be.
Mm.
I think, like, if I was still in my unhappy place, things little things is just, oh my god, really? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yes.
it's 10 times worse when
Mm.
you're in your unhappy place. But when I'm in my happy place and something happened, it's like, oh, okay, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
Mm. That's
So
very insightful.
at the end of the day, you're where you're supposed to be, and it makes um the it makes a difference, really.
Yeah. That's really insightful. That's like, I'm like sitting here like quietly just like thinking about that. It's very true. Like, when we're actually doing what we love and we're following our own passions and we're making an effort every single day towards our goals and inspiring others, or even if it's one person or if it's 30,000 people, there's something happening that the little things, like you said, it's not going to make or break you anymore. It's just part of the process. And I think, yeah, you said it perfectly. So, wow. Okay. I'm adjusting now because I'm like, this is
We went a little bit
no,
like
yeah, no, that was beautiful. I loved that. It's so, I just can't express it in words because I know what you're saying and I know what you're feeling. And I know so many people listening are probably on their way to something they're not happy with and they're listening to this. And it's probably hitting them
mhm.
so deeply. And they know that they want to be where you are, or they want to be even just one step from where they are. And it's so hard. But they're listening to this, and I think that they know. And I just feel right now like this is gonna change someone's life. And when I get that feeling, I'm like,
Uh,
I like get like, oh my gosh, like worked up in it. But okay. So now we
yeah,
know.
it's goosebumps feeling.
Yeah,
And
goosebumps.
like we talk about like this big thing of like, dropping your job and everything, but sometimes it's just the small little things that can make your life better. Is it like a toxic relationship you have to get off to? Is it like um the food you eat? Is it the house you live in? Is it, it can be like just a
Yeah.
small little things that, sometimes people, they have struggle in their life, but it's just that one thing that keeps them away of being 100% happy. So even if you're listening and you don't compete, or you don't want to drop your job and you're happy with it, but you still have this little thing that makes you unhappy, just make the change and don't
Mhm.
fear. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It gets to me too, like,
Mhm.
because it's still recent, but it's a life-changing experience. That's what I have to say.
Yeah. And I like that you said it's not always just about like the biggest thing. It can be little. It can be the clothing in your closet. You know,
Right?
it's like just clear out the stuff that's keeping you feeling less than you know you're worth feeling, and let go of the judgment and the fear of others and what they might think or what they're doing with their life, or would so and so do this, or ego telling you that you have to keep doing this because if you don't, like maybe you're prepping for a show right now and you know in your heart that you should not be stepping on stage saying your heart's not in it, and if you just stepped away, you won't burn out and you'll finish and you'll come in a lot stronger when you do. And maybe that's the change. And
Yeah.
it's about listening and trusting your intuition and your soul, because it's going to lead you in the right direction if it's truly coming from that right place. And the more love you can have for yourself, the easier that's going to be, because you're going to love yourself enough to put the right food in your body, to move your body the right way, to make the decisions that fuel your growth. And it'll be way more empowering than painful.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
uh-huh. Yeah, that was really awesome. Okay, so I want to ask you now, you are pursuing a lot of new things in your life, ventures, and taking these leaps has led you to become more of an ambassador in the sport. And that's one of the beautiful things that comes from making those decisions. Your eyes open to all these other opportunities. And now you're offering online posing sessions. So, how can people work with you?
So right now I don't have, like, my website is not ready yet. So I work online with Skype. As I
Mhm.
told you earlier, I'm a technology newbie, and so you guys, you just DM me or you email me. I love emails too. Email me, just, you know, I want to have Skype posing lessons with you, and we're gonna make this work. Yeah.
That's awesome. And when you're doing posing sessions with people, what's something that you notice comes up a lot that girls maybe struggle with or don't think about when they're stepping on stage?
I think the walk is one thing that girls, so they practice poses, because
Mm-hmm.
you practice your pose in the gym, you practice your pose in front of the mirror, but then the walk is something that leaks, and you have to know that you're judged the moment you step on stage. So what does the judges see first is the walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's the one thing that girls are missing. But
Yeah.
we work on that, and um we all have different walk. You can watch the Olympia or the Arnold, and you have bouncy walk, you have the energetic walk, you have the more sassy walk, you have the more slow, the faster, but you really have to put your personality. And that's what I'm doing with the girls. Just put that posing. I don't want you to pose like me. I don't want you to pose like XYZ. I want you to pose like you, and
Mm-hmm.
be you're going to be the best version of you. And that's what I want to show, and that's what I'm helping girls with.
How do you determine what's going to be the best walk for someone? Is that like, are there questions you ask them? Do you watch what they do? Like, how do you come to that conclusion?
So we try out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really try. So like um I'm gonna watch them walk with heels. Sometimes it's their first time, so walking is a little difficult, but it depends on how experienced the competitor is. And at this point we just go from there, adding a little bit of shoulder, adding a little bit less or more arms. It can be hair, it can be hip. Is it like you want to put your feet just a little bit more further? Yeah, further is front, right?
Mm-hmm. Like
Like
for their part.
bigger step, smaller step. Do you want to cross or just put your feet one in front of another, depending on your hip structure. So yeah, no, it's all about
Mm.
I'm a very, not critic, but you'll get the best out of me. That's for sure.
Nothing slides past Lauralie.
No, I'm like on posing. I know how important it is, and um, I'm gonna give you everything. But of course, like posing after that, it's all practice, because you have to um, put out your personality into it, and just it. Judges see it when you practice, but not only practice it, but you have this confidence and in your eyes and in your smile, and you're just like, okay, I nailed this.
Yeah, totally. And I think that if we can feel that way, like right before we step on stage, knowing that we're going to crush it, like we'll be fine because we've practiced and we love the routine and it does reflect us, then no matter what, it's going to be good. And that's a, that's a priceless feeling.
It is.
So I think that's awesome that
But
you are
I have to
offering. Mm-hmm.
I have to admit something,
Uh-oh.
because I look like I always, I it's like, but
You look like you always what?
like, sorry, you missed me on that.
Uh-huh.
You look, they love my posing. Like, I love posing, and I think my posing is good. But every night before the show, I get this anxiety. I'm just like in my bed, and I'm like, I don't remember my routine. I just don't remember. I don't remember how to pose. Like, it always happens to me the night before the show, always.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's
Do you
funny.
practice in your room a lot?
Before the show,
Uh-huh.
yes, like I do, but the work is done. But I mean, yeah, it's really more visualizing.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit in my bed, I lay in my bed, and I just like I go through my routine, and you know. But when it happens, it can be like at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like, I don't remember my routine. I wake up and I go like in the bathroom and just like go through it, and I'm like, okay, I can sleep
I
better
got
now.
it.
I can go back to sleep in peace.
So funny. I've definitely had that before too. I'll be like in prep and it'll be like a week out and I'm like, oh God, I don't even know how to walk in heels. I don't know where to put my hand. I don't remember if I smile. And like even the like when I'm like about to go on stage, I'll do the same thing as you, like put on a huge ass smile because if there's one thing I won't forget, it's to smile. You know, obviously when you're up there you're having fun, hopefully, and it becomes easier to
Yeah.
smile. But I know that anxious feeling, that anxiety that everything's been forgotten. I sometimes get that with food too. Like I'll like count out all my like if I have like 10 almonds, let's say, I'll like count them out and then I'll eat them and I'll be like, did I have 10? Like I know I counted it out. No, I didn't, but did I? And like I'll get like I think it's because we care so much, you know, when you care so much about something, you want it to be perfect and you want to know that you did everything you could. But yeah, that anxiety is real when you have a deep passion and love for it and want to succeed. So I totally get that. Okay, so posing is something you're offering now, which is awesome, and you obviously have a keen eye for it. Now, if like I like to always wrap this up by asking about advice that you would give to someone who hasn't competed yet but wants to start competing, and then we'll get advice for someone who is chasing their pro card.
Um, Honestly, just go for it and be consistent and get the proper guidance. Get surrounded by people that want to see you grow and persevere. I mean, I thought being an amateur that was the work, but like when you get to the pro, that's where the work starts. But I mean, um, the bikini division gets crowded. There's a lot of criteria is changing, and just focus on being the 100% best self that you can be, but always with like this person, a coach or just this expert that can help you, um, having this second pair of eyes and guide you, um, to be the best self. And don't, um, if you're about to compete, don't let any details, um, whether it's your suit, tanning, makeup, hair, um, bikini is about everything, posing, and of course, like your training in nutrition, but it goes, way more than that. So
Mm.
yeah, just stay consistent and just just do it. If you feel ready to do it, do it.
Totally. That's awesome. And what if someone doesn't feel ready? What would you tell them?
Do the next one.
Do it
There's
until you feel
honestly so
ready.
no, but there's like so many competition. Like, don't put pressure on yourself. Bodybuilding is, you have to do it, one thing you have to do it for yourself. The moment you start doing for, you know any reason, Instagram, fame, or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, you're gonna have a hard time. I'm telling you. This is not gonna be fun if you're doing it for someone else or for something else than you. It's not gonna be fun. So first thing, make sure, you're doing it for you. If you don't feel ready, if you don't feel it in your intuition that you're not gonna have fun, just don't do it,
Mm.
because it's gonna be a waste for you and just for the judges, because
Yeah.
they're gonna see you're not having fun, and that's the point of it. And there's right now, like the NPC and the ISBB, they have so many shows, so many amazing shows and opportunities. I think you can just, um you know 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or like take a 1 year break and come back the year after. The stage
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be there still, and if you're doing this for you, you're gonna put the work, and time is not gonna be, a factor. You
Hmm.
have to be patient.
I needed to hear that. That's good. Yeah, absolutely. And that actually made me think about and I normally don't go back, but I really want to. When you said earlier that usually you would do like two shows was a lot for you. When did you um like what was your amateur career like? Like how long were you an amateur? When did you get your pro card? And then like what was it like to go from not doing that many shows in a year to doing a lot in your second year as a pro?
Yeah, so I've been an amateur 2 years.
Okay.
So my first season, actually, I lied because I did 3 shows my first amateur season. But amateur and pro is two different worlds,
Yeah.
really like two different worlds. And so first year I competed, I did in Canada it's different. We only have really only a few shows back then. Now it's more because of the CPA, but back then we had regional show. I won first place and overall. Then that qualified me for the provincials. That was 2 weeks after. I won overall and overall first place and overall. Then that qualified me for the national. Then I was like, okay, it's 2 weeks. It's in Toronto. I can drive there. I'm gonna do it. So did my third show that year. Won first place, but not overall. And in Canada, we have 2 shows. We have the natural show or the open show. And in both, you have to win first place and overall in your category, and there's only one pro card um,
Oh my gosh.
per show. Yeah. So
Like
it's
from all
very,
the girls, like every single class.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty hard to get your pro card in Canada. So um, finish my first year at the national because that's how the season is always between like May. It goes to May until like first week of August. So that was my first season. There was like no show after that.
Wow.
Took a year, then go back go back to nationals that year. And I won first place in overall and won my pro card there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was in 2015. Then
After a year off.
2016. Yeah,
That's awesome.
not exactly a year off, like 8 months off, but that was the off season that I'm an ectomorph, so I was like eating like a bodybuilder and just like, but no crap food, but like two cups of rice 6 times a day and like very clean, eating
Damn.
my protein 2 times like training 2 times a day, like sometimes I shoulder in the morning and legs um legs at night. And like right now I have to bring my quads a little bit down, so that might be not good for me, but I put I put quite some mass, um, some lean mass, and when I came in for the show, that was one of my best shape in my life, and I
Wow.
won the show in New Brunswick. I drove 14 hours. Yeah,
Wow, that's dedication.
yeah, it is.
I thought driving to Vegas for 4 hours was tough. That's crazy. 14 hours. But
Yeah,
you did it.
I did it. So I won my pro card. Then 2016, I did the Toronto Pro because I can drive there. It's 6 hour drive. So that's kind of like I really love doing the Toronto Pro. Like if you can come one day just to assist or even like compete because it's in June if you think you compete. But
Yeah.
it's a super fun show and it's my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but it's like
Mm.
it's Canadian, so it's fun. And then did the Miami Pro that was 2 weeks after. And fast forward, we're in 2018, and I do like 6 shows back to back. Been on prep for more than a year and a half now. So after the Arnolds, I'm gonna take a little break.
Yeah. Yeah. You said that's going to help you get ready for the Olympia again. How are you, and I'm like just getting so many questions, but how are you maintaining your health through all these preps?
Um, So to be honest with you, when I
Mhm.
first met with Adam, my health was a little off because the last, like, for after the O, I was still like, everything was going well. I had my period. Everything was great. Blood tests were saying my um, thyroid was okay. My hormones level were great. Then I did China in Philippines, and I think with the traveling and just like being very tired and still working, and I think that kind of pushed the battery just a little bit more than I expected me to.
Mhm.
And so when I come back to Adam, um, he changed my diet. That's why we started earlier. I didn't take a 2 weeks off completely, where I could just like eat everything I want and stuff. But he gave me this diet where it's like more of a reverse diet. We added fats and carbs, and I got my period back because I lost them.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good things, right? You have
Oh
your
yeah.
period back. It's you know, and yeah, we did this reverse diet for 2 weeks, and then we start prep again, and you really see how your health is going on how your body is responding to the diet and the training, because China and the Philippines, there was nothing happening. I was
Hmm.
increasing my cardio, lower my calories, and nothing was happening. Just my weight won't drop. I was still holding water. Cortisol was pretty up, and uh, you can see your health on how your body's looking. And we got that all set, and now my body's responding like it's my first prep of the year. So
Wow.
very happy. Yeah,
That's awesome. And what was your, because I know Adam does a lot of testing at his facility.
he
So
does.
that video was super cool, by the way. I was like blown away by what he does. So what was your metabolism like when you went in? And what was like, I mean, obviously he added in certain foods to help you regain some hormone health and get your energy back. But what was your metabolism like?
So my BMR was
Hmm.
kind of slow. He was shocked. I was at one so 1500. Yeah,
Hmm.
1500. That is pretty low. He was expecting me to be like at least like um 2000, because my
Wow.
calories were pretty high at this time. So he was like, okay, we're gonna change your diet right now. um but yeah, so I I'm gonna do the test back when I go see him before the Arnolds, so we can see. But get it, as I told you, getting my metabolism back is really much um, bringing back macronutrients like fats and carbs at the same time in my diet, and diversify my protein sources, and veggies, and just yeah, he really it. And I think like training wise helped too. He's very about intensity, and
Mm-hmm.
I do like hit cardio. It's something that I never done before.
Wow.
That's really good for your metabolism too. So but he's still learning about me, right?
Right.
We've been working for together for 2 months now, but we're still learning what does best for me. So is it sweet potatoes, is it rice, is it that's why we're always talking. We talk every single day, because he wants me to, am I bloated when I eat that? How do I feel? Do I feel tired? Do I feel flat? Do I, so he's trying to figure me out at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing a great job.
That's awesome. It sounds like it. And I'm so glad you got your period back. I know that feeling. I cried when I got mine back last month. I was like, oh my God. And now I'm waiting. Like, it should come today. or tomorrow. So I'm like, come on.
you, you get excited having your period back. You're like,
Oh yeah. Feel like you feel so, I mean, yeah, it's a good feeling. How long did you not have yours?
so I lost them a little bit before the O.
Got
So
it.
that's not quite. I know people that lost them for like 5 years.
Yeah, I lost mine for 2. I knew someone
See,
who
that's
lost hers for
crazy.
13 years without a period. Like, I couldn't imagine that, you know?
Yeah, because well, I know it's because it's your health, right?
Yeah, it's your monthly report card, they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Well, that's awesome. And I appreciate you sharing all of that with us today and just everything you opened up about and the connection that we had. I really enjoyed that. And I feel like we got so much into this episode and just it was really amazing. And I appreciate everything that you shared and for coming on today.
Thank you, girl. I was very excited to do it, and I'm glad you had everything you wanted, and I'm super happy on how it went.
Yay, of course,
Yay.
absolutely.
It
So
was fun. Thank you for
good.
having me.
Yeah, I had so much fun too. You're so welcome. I appreciate you coming on, and it means so much to me. I want other people to tell you how much it means to them as well. I want them to be able to say thank you, say what's up, follow you if they're not, which is highly unlikely. But where can people follow, find, connect with you? I know we mentioned emailing you for posing sessions, but what about just to catch up on your daily mushroom intake and say hi?
So my Instagram is the best place to see my mushrooms. So it will be at Lauralie CHAP _IFBB Pro. That's my Instagram.
Perfect.
So I'd like
Awesome.
to see all your mushrooms, girls. And
Yes,
please
tag
tag
her.
me in your mushroom.
I love it. That's awesome. So I'm going to put her link in the show notes page. As usual, that's on www.celestial.fit/podcast. She's going to have her own category section. So if you're listening to this months down the road, make sure you look at the categories list and click her name. Otherwise, you can always message me. I'll send you a direct link. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much for being on. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. All of your support, all your love, sharing the episodes means so much to me. To those of you who have become patrons, thank you. It really helps with the production of the show, and I'm very grateful that this is helping so many of you. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're listening to this episode. Just make it awesome.